You are good to go.
Okay, I'm officially going to call us to order. It's 1:32 p.m. We have a quorum, so we can get going. And I have to start with approval of the agenda. Would somebody like to move approval of the agenda?
Bob will move it.
Thanks, Bob. A second?
Second,
Thank you. And I have to go down the list to get everybody's approval. So when I call your name, please say yay or nay. Allison's not here. Bob,
Yay.
Arlene? I know.
Arlene's muted. Yay.
Jude,
Here, yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
and myself, yay. Thank you very much. Everyone should have received the minutes of the last meeting that we held, which was September 7. And I hope you've had a chance to look at them. So I'm wondering if somebody wants to move approval of the minutes.
Bob will.
Thank you. Does someone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jude. And before we vote on it, does anyone have any suggested changes? Okay, I have a couple, if you don't mind. Arlene, do you have those minutes in front of you?
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay. Really, the only thing I want to suggest is near the beginning, you're repeating some of the script that I'm required to read about a remote meeting. And I suggest just taking that out because it's just a formality. So after the meeting called to order, I take out the rest of that whole paragraph, which is just this script,
Got it.
if you don't mind. Okay. Well, with that change, I'd like to go down the list to get everyone's approval, yay or nay. Bob,
Yay.
Arlene,
Yay.
Jude,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Mary Ann, yay. Thank you, everybody. And with that, we'll move on to official business. You might have noticed that this is an amended agenda, and the reason for that is that Sherry Hunt was going to be a guest speaker today, and she had to cancel because she had a death in the family. She has to go to a funeral. So I'm hoping to get her on the docket for our next meeting, just because it's nice to check in with her at least once a year and know what's going on with Elder Services of Cape Cod and the islands. So she's definitely agreed to be a speaker. We have to find the meeting that works for her. It looks like next one probably will be it. So with that, the guts of our meeting today are project updates mostly. So let me start with the health fair. For those of you who might not have attended, Arlene and I were both on the health fair committee, along with a lot of people from the hospital and a few people from NCEA. So the health fair is behind us. It was probably about half the size of its usual self pre-COVID. But I will look to you, Arlene, for your comments about it. It seemed to me that for what it was, the size that it was a success. We had a long line of people for flu shots the entire 3 hours practically. And it was also really nice to have the new administrator of the hospital, Amy Lee, was there the whole time, greeting people as they came off the elevator. And I thought that was a very nice touch. She seemed easy to get to know. So that was good.
Yeah, my observation was I was at the health fair many, many years ago when it used to be at the school. And I actually appreciated this last health fair because it was at the hospital. It was a little more contained and not so vast with information. It just seemed more orderly. And I also enjoyed seeing the hospital staff engaging a lot more with community in a more social way, that's not so official all the time, like when you go into the hospital to see someone. So I thought it was overall a great success. didn't hear any negative stuff about it. So, yeah.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the health fair? I think we're all hoping that next year we're going to be back to the whole thing using both the first and second floors. This year we only used the second floor. So it would be nice for everyone who wants to have a table, which was not possible this year. Some organizations just had to be left out just because of the space limitations. So something to think about for next year. I'm going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is Nancy's coat project. Can you give us an update?
Certainly happy to update. We're holding the project on the 11th and 12th of November. Friday, the 11th, we're going to be open strictly for donations. And we're hoping that we'll have some community volunteers come in and give us a hand. The only things that we are not going to accept would be footwear, hatwear, and children's clothing. It gets a little bit too difficult when you're trying to size little kids along with the adults. So we figured we would just strictly keep this as an adult area. On Friday, we'll take donations from 10 to 3. And then Saturday, we will be open from 9 to 2. People come in, and it's just one of these things. The clothing racks are going to be donated by the hospital thrift shop. And you will come in and we'll try to have everything kind of evenly sized up, male and female. And you come in and just take what you want. There's absolutely no charge. We're not asking for donations or anything of that sort. It's just if you need a warm weather coat or a sweater, a scarf, a set of mittens, something along those lines, please come in and help yourself. So that is our project right now. Anybody got any questions about this?
I do actually. Could you repeat the collection days?
Certainly. Friday, November 11th. We're going to be open from 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, strictly for donations. And then the following day, Saturday, we'll be there from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. And that is strictly for people to come in and take as needed.
I was thinking of adding this. We have when everyone in the town logs on to their computer, there's a message that pops up beforehand, and we use that for a variety of different messaging. I was considering sending this as part of this month's update or the next couple of weeks worth. Do you have a problem with me sharing that internally to town?
I think that would be wonderful. You know, the more people that are aware for giving as well as coming in and receiving, I think the better. So
Okay.
that would be
I'll pass
perfect.
that along. And then I'll
Thank
also
you.
try and send that out for social media too. Do you have any like sort of like a flyer or anything for it?
We don't. Laura's just been adding this to the weekly newsletter, and I don't know if that's sufficient or if we should venture out a little bit further, you know, trying to contact people. Should
What
we
I-
have a brochure or posters or something along those lines?
I think that we can it maybe not necessarily need posters, but I can definitely have like clip whatever it is that she put in the newsletter and have that
Mhm.
shared on the other town feeds and Facebook, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, that would be good.
And then just to confirm, so it's November 11th and 12th that this is operating, drop off 11th, pick up 12th.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Anybody
Nancy,
else?
do you have all the helpers that you need?
You know, it's funny because I've emailed several people and I haven't heard back on very many. I'm just hoping that people are going to come in on Friday and help out. If not, I'll get on the phone, and it's a holiday. So hopefully, you know, people will be off. There's no sort of work commitment to, you know, for them to be occupied with. So hopefully they will come in and give us a hand. And then the next day, I hope that we have enough community members that will take care of what we have. I've never done this before. It has been done in years past, but I haven't been involved in this. So I'm kind of brand new to this, and I'm certainly open to any recommendations that anybody wants to make.
So you can put out a call right here for a few helpers.
How about you folks? Anybody willing to give us a hand that either day? You do not have to commit to the entire time that we're there on Friday or Saturday, but even a couple hours just to come in and go through clothing and see what is acceptable, what is really wear worthy, and then stick them on coat hangers and put them on clothing racks. It's not a difficult job, but the more the better.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
This isn't the holiday sale. This is a clothing
It's not a sale, dear. It's a giveaway.
for just clothing and coats. Is that?
It is a winter weather giveaway, right?
Okay.
So we're taking everything from coats to jackets to vests,
Oh, thank you.
gloves, mittens, scarves. You know, I'm a little reluctant on the hats, and the footwear is very difficult to, to
Okay.
reuse. But anything that's going to keep somebody warm, through these colder days. And I don't know if you folks have seen the Inky Mirror. They put a little advertisement in about having warming centers open on Mondays and Thursdays. I'm not sure what the timing is. I had it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, let me just let you know. They're doing a warming place from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays at the Summer Street Church. They're looking for volunteers right now, but they are going to be giving, I think it's beverages or hot meals for those couple of days. So if you know of anybody who is in need on either a Monday or a Thursday, and I'm assuming if the need is greater, they might even increase it a little bit more. But it's in last week's Inky that there is going to be a warming place. And so they're welcoming anybody and everybody to go in. It doesn't say when it's starting, but I'm assuming if they advertised it as of last week, the quicker, the colder weather gets, the more this will be available. So just a little heads up on that as well.
I just put the winter clothing donations and giveaway in the chat for
Okay,
everyone so that you can see those details.
okay, very good. And anybody else, any questions?
Thanks, Nancy.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like a very good event.
Let's hope it's successful.
Yeah, it will be, I'm sure. Next on the agenda, I'm going to do a very quick update on the senior home modifications. This is the project to put grab bars and railings and things like that into seniors' homes. And so far, we're actually in year 2 now. So we had a grant the first year of $7,500. We did not spend it all, but now we have another $7,500 for year 2. And to date, we have completed 9 people, and we have 1 in process currently, and a wait list of 8 people. So I would say that it's moving along fairly smoothly. And as soon as the town of Nantucket Treasury Department catches up with us, we'll be moving along even faster. So I would say it's moving along. Not at the speed we might like, but it is moving.
I have an additional update for you and the rest of the council as well. I spoke with Brian on a couple of grant related matters today. He said he was double checking to make sure that the necessary account, it will be created to set that money out. I expect it to be done relatively quickly, ideally by the end of the week. And I'm poking him on I'm emailing him on an ongoing basis to make sure that it gets done.
That is really good news. Because we have already, Laura has received the second check for the second month this year. So we're ready to deposit the money and pay the very helpful handymen who are doing this job. And I will have to say that the feedback has been really good from people who've gotten their grab bars. So people are generally happy.
So this should be a process that only needs to happen once. And so from then on in, we should be able to deposit checks directly without having to do this ever again.
Good. I didn't put this on the agenda, but because we're on the subject of grants, I just wanted to flag people that there is another offer of a caregiver scholarship grant like the one we had last year, where we gave $200 gift certificates to seniors who were also caregivers. And I'd just like to put it out there. I'm not sure how the council feels about doing this again. I don't feel confident about myself taking this on totally, and you're shaking your head already. Sorry, Jericho. I just wanted to be out there that people know that this is available again. And if somebody wants to do the labor, we might be able to apply for it. And then if we get it, there's plenty of work at the other end as well. So you're shaking your head both directions. I'm confused now.
So I wanted to say it is a pain to administer that grant, but that some of the heavy lifting has already been gotten done. So I think that it would be less of a pain this year, but it would still be a significant commitment of time and effort.
So I don't know how people feel about this, but here's your chance to weigh in, especially if you want to take on something like this.
What is the public feedback on it from this year?
Well, I have all these thank you notes from people who got them, actually, it was a nice surprise. We'd never done this before. So people were delighted to get $200 dropped in their laps to spend at a place of their choice, whether it was Stop and Shop or Bartlett's Farm, or to get their hair done at the hairdresser. There were other options as well, but most people actually chose Stop and Shop. Not, I guess, a great surprise. So it's very popular among those who get it, of course, and they're very appreciative. I can't tell you how appreciative they are. It's just that it's for somebody taking it on. First, you have to write the grant proposal, and I'm happy to pass on the one that we did, and you could copy as much as you want. But if we get it, there's considerable work to be done, because you have to identify the people, make sure they're truly seniors and caregivers, find out what they might like in terms of a gift certificate, and then deal with the finance department who purchases the gift certificates. So there's that. So if anybody wants to weigh in on this, please do. If somebody's interested, please say so. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to pass this opportunity again. That was very loud. Thank you, everybody. Okay, decision made. We are not going to apply for caregiver scholarships again. With that, I'm going to move on to the report on human services. Jericho.
Okay, so I'll start with a brief COVID update. I just got the wastewater results from the last 2 weeks. We've moved to a more frequent testing regime for that. There was a sharp rise in ambient COVID measured in the wastewater last week, which has subsided. Generally, this indicator leads cases by about a week. So I would expect, if I was doing a weather forecast for COVID, I would say elevated chance this coming week and then a reduction the week after. It is still very prevalent. It is still passing around a lot. And the efficacy of the rapid antigen tests, the take-it-home tests, has been decreased against the new variants. So if you think you're COVID positive or you are getting COVID symptoms, I would only take a negative result from an antigen test if you have 2 consecutive negatives within a 24-hour period. Unfortunately, this means you're going to go through tests a little quicker because you can't trust a single negative number. We've got a state clinic coming up on the 19th of this month. There should still be some slots available for that. And we're planning on a larger clinic in December, hopefully to coincide with December Delight at the school. Likewise, Dan's is still doing bivalent boosters, as is the hospital, but the scheduling of the hospital shots is something that I don't know and can't seem to be informed about. Past that, I'm in the process of doing some senior meetings with CFN. They had a couple of programs where they were looking to free up grant funds for senior focused programming. I've been discussing a couple of things with them, and I think that they will likely be, I think there's RFPs out, a request for proposals out for grant money. And I'll follow up and share that next week when I get, next month when I get the update from them as well. I don't think what else that I'm doing that's particularly senior focused at the moment. Congregate lunch got started up again at the Salt Marsh, which is a very nice thing. We should be moving back into a more regular Ask a Nurse day down there. And then I've got some tech support clinics where people can bring in devices, and then I'll try and fix whatever is wrong with them. Doing that once, maybe twice a month. And I think the Ask a Nurse is going to be between once and twice a month as well. Past that, we're doing behavioral health reform across the island. We should be making some announcements for that in the coming months. The hospital, Fairwinds, Gosnold, most of the major behavioral health resources on the island have come together to do kind of a collaborative effort to improve access to mental health services, as well as change how you connect to those and have sort of a central repository. If you need help for something, here's a number to call, and then they will be connecting you with the services that might work for you. Should hopefully make more announcements on that coming up. And then we're getting into grant season, so that's taking up a significant chunk of my time. And then just some related support for a couple of other human services projects on the island, some youth facing stuff, partnerships with Our House. And then hopefully I'm going to try and connect a high school computer science class or computer skills class with the Saltmarsh for ongoing tech support to try and get some senior and youth crossover. That's largely what I've got going right now. If you guys have any questions about anything I'm doing or anything else about town business that perplexes you, I would be happy to either answer it if I know the answer, or figure out the answer for you if I don't. So that's an ongoing offer too, anything you guys want to know about town business. Anything about COVID or anything else?
Well, I have a question, Jericho. Are you the techie person? If you are the actual techie, okay, it's not a
Yep.
high school kid.
Not yet. Hopefully, I'm going to try and find a way for high school students to fulfill their community service requirements, and for me to not have to learn Macintosh to help people, because I don't know how it works, and I get frustrated sometimes because the buttons are all different from where mine is. But it will be me down there. If you have any, there's a sign up sheet at the Saltmarsh. I think we cap it at 8 for about an hour to an hour and 15 if it goes over. Just bring your device in and I'll see what I can do to help.
And
Any other
Jericho, I am a pretty good at Macs. If you
I be careful what you say. Be careful about volunteering here. Just be very careful. If you want, the next one's scheduled for the 8th. If you have time and want to poke in and see how I
when
do
is
it.
When is
November 8th, and I think we're at noon on November 8th. I have to double check. Laura, when's my
10:15.
10:15?
And Arlene is better than just passable at Macs. She's an expert at Macs.
Somebody needs to be.
Hi, Linda.
She's an expert at Mac. I've seen it personally.
Yeah, but I'm very much like you, Jericho. When it comes to PCs, I'm lost with it a little. I mean, I can be dangerous enough to turn it on and maneuver, but
I've picked my tribe, and it is not
Yeah.
the tribe of Macintosh,
right.
unfortunately.
So, but anyway, on November 8th, I do have something going on at 9 a.m. So I don't know if I'll be able to be there in time for 10:30.
I think we'll likely have another COA meeting before the next one of those. So if you're still interested in that, let me know.
Yeah, I will. So I get calls from not the Saltmarsh, the place where everybody lives down the road from my comment.
Sherburne Commons.
Thank you. I'm like, sounds like, yeah, I get calls from friends that are living over at Sherburne Commons when they get stuck with their computers, usually Mac people. So, but I'm actually saying this in public now, so that's probably not a great thing, because now I'll start getting lots of phone calls. So, but anyway, happy to help wherever I can with that. So.
Thanks, Arlene.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments for Jericho? I want to make a comment about the congregate lunch, because for the first time, I was a waitress today at the congregate lunch, and there were 18 seniors there. And I have to say, it was an incredible meal. prepared by Kitty Murtaugh. And I hadn't planned to eat because I was rushing back to this Council on Aging meeting. But from now on, I'm going to plan to eat because it was delicious.
I bet.
If you know seniors who have not attended before, it's such a pleasant experience just to sit down, maybe meet some new people, get together with friends, and be waited on, and a delicious meal, a really substantial lunch meal. So please let people know about it. It was great.
I am duty bound at this point to mention that you need to register 48 hours in advance by contacting Elder Services. Signs and conditions may apply. Offer not good in all 50 states.
It is delicious, though. Thanks, Jericho. Appreciate the update for what's going on. Laura, I know you sent us your report, but maybe you want to add something to that or just take questions.
Just really questions. I mean, lunch is back, so it's like Grand Central here again. It's fabulous. Thanks, Mary Ann, coming to help waitress. It was really, it's great to see so many people here again. Other than that, any questions about anything?
It's a vibrating place. Lots going
is.
on. Yeah. No questions from anybody for Laura?
Oh, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura, could you remind them about the contribution, that if they want to make a contribution, what it should be per meal?
Oh, it's $4 per meal now. Yes. And you just put it in a little envelope on the table. And they can make change if you'd like. The cost of the meal, I believe, is more like $23,
Went up.
but they only ask for a $4 donation. So that's a pretty good deal.
And it's not institutional food. It's real restaurant food.
Who does the Meals on Wheels? People love it.
Thank you, Laura. The last thing on the agenda is just to let you know that both Laura and I are now on a work group looking at a new Our Island home and a new senior center. And this has probably seemed endless. You probably think that you first heard about this the year after you were born, and you'll hear about it till the day you die, but such as it is. We're actually starting to do things like we're going to go out to the site at Sherburne Commons that is being looked at very seriously for the new nursing home. And then we're also having a Zoom meeting with an engineering firm who is going to do a feasibility study looking at the current nursing home location for our senior center. So that seems to me like real movement. There are people from many walks of life on this work group, besides the two of us, somebody from NCEA, several people from the town, somebody who has been involved in building senior centers in many other locations around Massachusetts. So it's a pretty good sized work group. But I imagine that Laura and I will keep you informed every month as to what's happening there. So actual progress being made finally. Any questions about that?
Just a comment before you move past that. I'm the closest butter to Sherburne Commons. And I was on the board of Sherburne Commons when it was built. My name's on that plaque, unfortunately. So I sort of in the mouth of the Badlands, and everybody's in support of it. I'm just curious, when you go out to visit, do you want to let me know and I'll come with you guys to visit there? We
Okay.
had an idea of where we wanted to put it. I'm not sure we can put it there, but there's certain, obviously regulations have changed.
Can I make a suggestion to you, Linda, that you contact Rachel Day and let her know that you'd like to be there, because she's our hostess.
Okay, is Rachel at Sherburne Commons now?
Mhm.
She's the executive director now.
Oh, that's great. All right.
Yeah.
I've got her cell number. I'll call her.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just because there's nothing else on the agenda, I want to just give a really brief update on NCEA, just because I think you should know a couple of things. One is that they have applied for another landmark grant. You may remember that recently they've had all these lunches, soup and half a sandwich from their landmark grant. But they've applied for another one, and it would allow for 13 separate activities over the next year. So that's more than one activity per month over the next year. And they're very likely to get this grant. So the Salt Marsh is going to be very active, even more active than it has been. So you should know about that. And then
Another
also-
thing, unless you're done, I have something to add to that NCA.
Oh. Okay, well, the other thing about NCEA is their annual appeal is underway. So you'll all be getting something in the mail asking for a contribution. I just wanted you to know that that's happening and in process. That's it. So
And
Linda,
They
what-
applied to the Community Preservation Committee that I'm on for a grant to do repairs and new roof and stuff over on the newer section of the island of the Landmark House.
oh,
And it was very, let's put it this way, until we publish it, it's very positively received, let's put it that way.
that's good news. Thank you. We've come to the end of our agenda. So if anybody has any other issues that you want to bring up, now is a good time.
To do with that. Vanessa has left the island as far as I know. And we have an open space. As the selectmen said, they're gonna advertise or anything?
Who has left the island?
Vanessa,
I think we've replaced Vanessa already, haven't we?
Yes, we have replaced Vanessa. Yeah.
oh, is that with Bob? Okay.
What about Allison?
Bob and Arlene came on at the last time that,
Allison is
on.
still on the board, but is looking for a replacement for herself for her departure, I think January, February, although that date's not set as yet.
Where's Allison?
I don't know, she's not in today. She ironically, she just came by the office a couple minutes ago, well, like an hour and a half ago. So I'm not sure
You
where she
moving
is.
off island?
No, she's I think she's looking to do some Peace Corps or something.
Well, she needs to stay here. She needs to stay with us.
I'll let you convince her of that.
Ah,
I think it's just a couple of years that she's doing this with the Peace Corps. So it's a cool life opportunity for her. So
well, it's
She'll
really
be
a
back.
change of pace.
well, the one person who did resign is Susie Spring.
Oh,
So we have to, yeah, she's the person we should replace as soon as we can. So if anybody, reach out to people you know who might be interested and help them through the process. It's well, Jericho can answer questions for sure. And anybody from town can as well.
if someone is interested, do we just send them to you, Jericho? Okay.
they
Yeah.
selectmen have to advertise to fill the spot, and they may
Okay.
wait until, no, it's close enough. They can advertise now. If we ask them to advertise, they will advertise now.
Okay.
Any other issues, questions, comments? Okay, I'll ask for somebody to suggest we adjourn.
Oh.
So move.
Second,
I second.
thank you, Arlene. And now I'll have to go down the list again. Bob,
Yay.
Arlene,
Yay.
Jude,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Linda,
Yay.
Mary Ann, yay. Thank you, everybody, and see you next month.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Have a nice day, or have a good day, everybody.
You too.
thanks.